You know that one friend who always backs out of plans? The one who's not feeling well again, exhausted again, maybe some other time? Chances are they're not dodging you, they're guarding something important. And if you're the kind of person who genuinely prefers a quiet Friday night in pajamas over a loud night out, this is going to feel uncomfortably accurate. Today, we're unpacking the psychology of people who love staying home. The group society labels as boring, but science describes very differently. Here's the reality. Extroverts recharge by being around others. Noise, movement, and constant interaction fuel them. But introverts, and people who lean toward solitude, restore their energy in calm and quiet. Every social interaction, even enjoyable ones, slowly drains them. Home is the only place where their battery actually refills. Psychologists refer to this as optimal arousal theory. Some nervous systems crave high stimulation to feel balanced. Others function best with much less. It's not about laziness or insecurity, it's biology, it's wiring. But it goes deeper than introversion. Many people love staying home because it offers a level of control they don't experience elsewhere. Outside, everything is unpredictable. Loud environments, unfamiliar faces, last-minute changes, surface-level conversations that go nowhere. At home, you choose the lighting, the sounds, the pace, the atmosphere. For people who are highly sensitive or anxious, that control isn't indulgence. It's essential. Here's something most people don't realize. Research shows that those who enjoy solitude are often more creative, more reflective, and stronger at problem-solving. Being at home isn't inactivity. It's where ideas form, not in packed rooms or crowded bars, but in quiet spaces, alone with thoughts, books, or a late-night mental spiral. And let's be honest, culture glorifies being out there. The parties, the constant plans, the performative version of living your best life. But what if your best life looks like a documentary, a warm meal, and zero commitments? That's not depressing. That's self-knowledge. Of course, there's another side to this. Some people stay home because of social anxiety, unresolved trauma or depression that softly asks, why bother? For them, home can become both shelter and prison. That's why the real question matters. Does staying home energize you, or does leaving feel overwhelming? One is peace, the other is avoidance. But for those who genuinely prefer being home, they're not missing out. They're just choosing a different rhythm. They find satisfaction in small rituals, the morning coffee, the same corner of the couch, the way sunlight settles into a room at dusk. Details most people rush past without noticing. If this sounds like you, you're not alone. Psychologists call this a low-stimulation preference. These are people who don't need constant external input. Their inner world already has depth. So if you're someone who declines invitations without guilt, who enjoys a solo Saturday, who'd rather rewatch a comfort show than chase new experiences, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're simply built for depth instead of noise, calm instead of performance. Now tell me, do you genuinely enjoy staying home? Or do you think we're all just making excuses?